Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pay-Per-View. My name is Kallum. My pronouns are they, them, and new, and I am joined by my lovely co-host, Bex. Hi, Bex. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good. Coming down off the high of this last week, so.
Well, hopefully we can relive a little bit of that high as we
Exactly.
talk about Forbidden Door 2025 from the O2 in London. Now, apparently, there's 18,992 people there. We do not yet know how many of those people were just members of the Don Callis family,
I think it was
but
most of them, to be clear.
Um, yeah, it's done a barnstormer for AEW in terms of numbers in the
hmm
UK. It turns out selling out the O2 is a lot easier than selling out a massive stadium. But also, it helps with the sound levels because
I was gonna say, sounds better.
everyone sounded really good on camera. But I
Good,
wasn't
I'm
fortunate
glad.
enough to go. Luckily, we have our from the site reporter, Bex. How was the O2?
It was good. Queuing to get in, a nightmare as ever. Watching you with London in general, actually. That's the sentence was finished there, actually. But I made it in for pre-show. Everyone was lovely and loud. We had many a chant going on. Some new ones that appeared. A British crowd, man. We'll sing or chant anything if we're allowed.
And you know what? Most of them were respectful, and I liked that. You
Most of them
know,
were pretty good.
yeah. Uh,
There was
so
one in particular that I was like, that's out of pocket, but not wrong, so it's a bit funny. So it's okay.
yeah, I think my favorite chant was a Christian. Would you like to be our dad? Was just
Yes.
I
It
don't
was
know.
it was when you saw Copeland look at the crowd and then listen to it and then be like, oh, I understand what's happening. Okay.
It took me a hot second because I thought they were
Yes.
singing it at Mother Wayne, and I was like, "Oh no, British
No.
crowd, why have you done this?" And I listened carefully. I was
No.
like, "No, no, they've got it right on."
This is fine.
Uh,
That one was very
yeah,
fun. Um,
but
in terms of other chants I enjoyed, it was when right at the end when MJF was getting his, getting himself beaten and bloodied, and the crowd just started with, "You deserve it." And I was like, well, not wrong.
it was ingenious. I think the British crowd had a real good time with that one. They were like, "Oh, you know what they chant when people win? You deserve it." And he's getting his ass handed to him, and he
He does
deserves
deserve
it.
that.
It's so funny. Um,
Exactly.
yeah. So, but as well as AEW's Forbidden Door, much like
hmm
a WrestleMania, for the UK, this is the biggest sporting event of the year. So
Yes.
a bunch of other wrestling shows happened around the weekend. There was a
Yes.
Riot Cabaret show. There was a
hmm
Progress show. No, not Progress. It was Rev Pro show. That was probably a
There was
Progress
also
show as
progress.
well.
Progress was in Monday.
Everybody just
Uh,
had a bit of a go, and you
yeah,
managed to go to one of them.
I did. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of like which shows I know that people went to. So I had some friends at Pro Wrestling Ceasefire on the Thursday, which was apparently an excellent show. I'll try and make that next year when they do All In the UK. Um, and then Rev Pro did Friday, Saturday, and then Progress did Monday, I believe. And Riot Cabaret was also on Friday, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, it was a huge, big, long weekend of wrestling shows in London, and I think that's beautiful. But I went to my personal favorite indie promotion that I attend on the regular, which is Pro Wrestling Eve, the Riot Girls of Wrestling, um, which as standard runs every Friday. Not every Friday, that would be mad. The first Friday of every month uh, in London, out in Walthamstow, and is an all women's promotion, and it is a banger every single time. So they put on a special show for Forbidden Door weekend, and it was wonderful, have to admit. Um, I was front row. According to my friends watching the live stream, I am featured prominently on the show, which wonderful. Love that for me. There are multiple times in that shoot where you can just see me having the time of my life. So, do with that what you will. But for AEW being over, that show featured Queen Aminata, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Billy Starks, and Nyla Rose all getting matches on the card, which was a
Yeah.
wonderful time. They all showed out incredibly.
And shout out to
And of
Nyla
course,
Rose, new world title.
yes, Nyla Rose got to challenge for the Eve Championship and picked it up. So congrats, Nyla. It was lovely meeting you. Gave her some Scottish tablet that she was thrilled about.
Gotta meet Nyla Rose. I'm so jealous. I
Uh,
fucking God above.
she's so much fun. I managed to meet all the gals. They were all lovely. The show was incredible. Their next show, if anyone's around, is September 5th, if I know dates. Yes, the 5th. Featuring Chris Statlander, who's their current international champion and will be defending her title against Nina Samuels, the woman who was belt collecting before Moné.
Nia Samuels versus Chris Statlander.
Yes, which Nina won an absolute chaos four-way match at the show just there to earn that #1 shot versus Billy Starks, Rain Leverkusen, who is wonderful. She's doing a stint in Sendai Girls soon, I think, which keep an eye out for that. She's great. Trisha Dora and Bozilla showed up at the last second, which delightful all round.
We'll talk about Bozilla because
Yes,
she
we will.
definitely made an impression during a
Yes.
certain match this weekend. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Nia Samuels. I've seen him on some internet content, which is very entertaining.
Nina and I have an ongoing beef that started the first time I went to an Eve show and has not died since, and that I am usually front or second row. She will do her heel play to the crowd, and we will just bully each other for like at least 15 to 30 seconds at the start of each match that she's in, which is lovely.
You're already building feuds. Finish the training first, Bex. I don't want
Well,
you to get into a match with Nia Samuels and she just destroys your body.
she would. Well, she has a little minion, Abby. Me and Abby can beef about it. But this show, her take was she looked me up and down and went, "This is my show, and you've come here wearing that?" And I was like, "Thanks." So
Well, it is the Nia Samuels show. I don't know what you're
it's
talking about.
it's the Nina
Everything is the
Samuels
Nia
show
Samuels show.
every time. But yes, highly recommend a new show if you can make it out. It's a great time. They do burlesque performances too. It's co-produced by Will Ospreay, so he's always running around doing ring crew, which is
And he
incredibly
doesn't do
funny.
the ring crew for the wrestling. He's only on the burlesque side. It's wild.
Wild choices. He was breaking up a brawl between Miller McKenzie, Sapphire Reed, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue, and just like dove straight in that ring to tear those girls apart, and like threw his headset off, and it just came clattering to my feet, and I'm just holding it, handing it to Dan, the owner and co-producer, like, "There you go, Dan," and he's just like, "For fuck's sake, man." So it's nice to know that Will Ospreay's complete commitment to throwing himself around extends to all areas of his life, it seems.
His injury wasn't from anything he
No,
did in
it's
AEW.
from
He was
breaking
just
up
trying to
Eve
break up those
brawls.
women, and they just like stabbed him in the neck.
Hey, with how crazy it gets over there, I would not be surprised.
Wow.
But yes, have to
Um,
shout them out. They're doing wonderful stuff. It's top tier every time.
Brilliant. Well, I think it's about time we get onto the main card, or we will be
Yes.
here longer than a normal AEW pay-per-view.
Well, yes.
So, Forbidden Door at the O2. Okay, actually, I do have a question before we start. Did you
Yes.
get food before it ran out?
Oh, I was at the O2 for, I would say, noon, and then I simply ate a lunch large enough to sustain me for the rest of the day because I was like, I'm not paying the prices in the O2 because why would I do that? And B, what if I miss things? And see, it's always going to be like hot dogs and fries. Like I was like, I'm going to go for like Mexican and have like a feast.
That's a good plan. All people who go to
Yeah.
wrestling shows don't bother with the stadium food. They A, run out apparently, and B,
Wild.
really overpriced.
Yes. I had one drink in there and a single vodka was $13.50.
Oh God.
$13.50. Anyway, I digress. That's not AEW's fault. However, good God.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Well, on with the show. We are going to talk
Yes.
about the pre-show probably pretty briefly because there's like two good match. They're all good matches, but there's two on there that
Yes.
I think we would probably want to talk about. We
Excellent.
started with an 8-man tag of the crew. How the hell do you say his
Hechicero.
name? Hechicero.
Hechicero.
Hechicero and Josh Alexander versus Paragon, Yuta Umura, and El Desperado.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This
I really
was
like the guy I can't say
Hechicero.
his name. Yeah, Hechicero. I love Hechicero. I think he's
He's
great.
so good. It's so funny because he gets the obligatory like fucked on Callus chants when he comes out, and then everyone's like, "Oh, but actually, we kind of like Hechicero, so we are actually kind of going to cheer for him anyway." He's very, very good.
He had an amazing match on Dynamite a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, he's very, very talented.
I can see why his gimmick is he's a magician because what he does,
Yes.
you're like, I don't
How
know how
did that
you've done
happen?
that.
Yeah. And I like El Desperado, Despe, wonderful wrestler. I'm glad I got to see him live.
I'm a
And
big fan of Yuya because he was
yes,
in a team with Joe Hendry back in TNA.
yes. Julia hit the most insane like finish in this match that I was like, what happened here? What went on? It was delightful. One of those moments where everyone just like bursts into noise because we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, mad scenes. It's a great 8-man tag of people doing 8-man tag things at a pre-show in AEW, which is like just throw all the action at it, and you're like, all right,
Okay.
boys, about sure, we'll see, but we'll
Yeah.
move on to the second match, which was the most important match of the night. Michael Oku's neck versus the floor.
Yes. That's
AKA
every Michael Oku match, but that's fine.
Michael Oku and Jet Speed versus Ricochet and the Gates of
Gates of
Agony.
Agony. That's them.
Um,
What a match. I love Jet Speed, I love Speedball, and I love Kevin Knight. I think they're a wonderful example of a team that's kind of just like, here's two guys thrown together, and suddenly you're like, oh, this is some of the best tag team chemistry we've seen in a hot second. So I'm always glad to see them work, and I think they do wonderful work together. But Brett Rest, darling Michael Oku, how lovely it is to see you. I would not be surprised if we get word of a Michael Oku signing in future. I think that's coming sooner rather than later.
there was word last year because he was the dark match at the Dynamite and
Yeah.
Collision taping in Cardiff, and
And
everyone
then
was
he's been on
convinced.
Ring of Honor, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
I think it's coming. I would not be surprised.
we
However,
were,
he showed out here. He looked great.
well, we were all convinced last year he'd be in the Casino Battle Royal, and he didn't show up.
Yeah. Well,
Um, but I think it would have been a good idea. But yeah, I think for sure they seem to like him, and they seem to not want to let him sign with WWE.
yes.
Um,
And he gets, obviously, he got a hometown crowd reaction, but generally he does well with the crowds. People like him. Based on what I saw on socials, people really jive with him just watching the show, which I said to Kallum off air, but I will repeat now. Every international viewer, welcome to the Brett Rest spot of, oh, Michael Oku's dead and it's 3 minutes into this match. Because this will happen all the time. And it's scary every time, and yet somehow he pops up and he's like, oh, good. You're like, I just watched you die. Like, I genuinely think I just watched you die.
there was a moment where he got thrown out the ring, or he jumped or whatever, and he hit that floor. And the first time you watched it, it looked like his neck just crumpled.
Yeah,
And I was like,
it's so scary.
"What the fuck, Oku?"
Yeah, and this will continue to happen every time you see him in a match. Don't worry, you don't get used to it. You still think he's dead every time.
Protect your neck, boys, all of you. I've got so many notes, which are just protect your neck, boys,
Your
across the
neck,
whole
boys.
show. God.
Leads up to a protect your neck angle.
Exactly. I wish the boys in the back would learn that their necks are not immortal.
They will not, and we will continue to see this. However,
Like,
what a match. Everyone loved Michael Oka. Glad we all got to chant for him.
yeah, I think it was crazy that he lost.
Yes. But I understand putting him against Ricochet and against Agony. They're clearly trying to set them up as like a feared little stable. So I get the loss. It's just sad that it had to come at a hometown show for him.
Yeah, I
But he
think
looked great and crowd was super behind him. So
we're getting 2 shows this year in the UK, Manchester
yeah,
and Cardiff. I'll see
yes.
how many of those I can go to. I can definitely do the Manchester one. And I don't know, maybe we'll get an angle, or maybe it'll
I
just be
wouldn't
on
be
Ring of Honor.
surprised. Well,
Yeah.
we never know. But I'll be at the Manchester one, so I'll be kicking
Oh,
around.
we should meet
Which
up
will
at
be
the
fun.
Manchester one then.
Exactly.
Then we get women.
Women.
I
That's for
put in my
me.
notes, the Woms have arrived.
The women. That's for me. Yeah, a wonderful little time. I enjoyed this tag match. I enjoy this newfound team of Chris and Harley that they're doing. Very fun. And I enjoy that once again, Aminata and Tekla just hate each other so bad.
This was technically the longest match on the card.
This is the longest match on the card. So, yeah, we have Triangle of Madness, Julia, Sky, Tekla, and Megan Bain with Hard Cameron, Chris Statlander, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale, which that Chris Willow reunion's coming. It's coming, man. You can't convince me otherwise.
I just need someone to explain to me, where is Chris Latlander's emotional core? Because she keeps on flipping every 5 seconds.
Look, sometimes you have a lesbian situationship breakup that's so bad that you crash out for like a year afterwards, and that's just kind of where you have to be. And where we're at now is she's in the stage of I'm trying to make her jealous by having a new girlfriend, and we'll see if it works.
And the new girlfriend is like, no, we could make this a freeway thing. Like, I'm good for that.
I have
Why
two
are we
hands.
jealous?
It's
Like,
fine.
yeah, like,
Yeah, that's exactly the storyline that's happening. Meanwhile, Aminata and Tekla want each other dead at every opportunity.
they just can't get enough of fighting each other.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. Um,
The moment where they fight and they spill out and they go all the way
yes.
up the ramp,
hmm
and then we
And just
find them
backstage, they just disappear. That's them.
4 matches into the show. They're still going.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
I wish someone would fight me for that long.
I know, truly.
Yeah, great fun match, and the
Very
faces got
much.
the win.
No,
No,
not here.
Megan Bain.
Not here. Megan hits the Liger bomb on Harley and pins her for it.
Of course she does. I just looked at the poster and went, hold on it. Who could you pin in that match? It's Harley
It's
Cameron.
Harley. It's Harley Cameron, yeah. And like Harley is one of those beautiful cases where because she is so over for everything else that she does, you can pin Harley and no one will be disappointed by that. Everyone will still be behind her and cheering for her.
Yeah, her and her Bane cat mask.
Which she randomly took off mid-match but then wore again on Dynamite because I think this is just her bit now, which is fine. I love it.
It's
I love
just
this
her
bit
bit.
for her. Yeah.
It's a great bit.
Yeah. She's like, I don't need it. However, look how cool I look. And I'm like, great. Love this for you, girl.
And then finally, it's almost like they forgot it was on the pre-show because it got like 8 minutes, and they were like, "Go, go, 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 go! Get out there!
Yeah,
Go, go, go!"
quick, quick.
We had the Oops versus Bullet Club War Dogs,
Yeah. Nice to
which
see the
is
War Dogs.
yeah. There's not much to write about in this match. It just kind of happened, and it was fine.
Yeah,
We
it was
we
fine.
got a really good walkaway spot.
Yes. I love Samoa Joe's nope spot. It's delightful every time.
What I liked about this one is he almost did it by accident, and then was like, "I
Yes.
guess I did it."
Everyone cheered for it. I guess that's the spot. And I think Clark Connors has the most beautiful head of hair in wrestling I've ever seen.
I got into like this weird place where I was like, I swear there was a guy who looks like Clark Connors who was in a four-way at one of these Forbidden Doors before.
Uh-huh.
Who I was like, I have no idea who you are. Why are you in this match? And by the end of that match, I went, that guy's amazing. Put the fucking belt on him. And it was Clark Connors.
It's Clark
So I'm
Connors.
like,
Clark Connors is very, very good. I legally am obligated to do my standard Clark Connors can you fight on account of the fact that Clark Connors is in fact dating Tekla.
yes, I did
Which
find this out. I
what power
just found this
couple?
out. I was looking at the social media and went, oh, that's a fun shirt. Oh, that's Clark Connors and Tekla. Oh,
Yes.
well, Sex and Violence is definitely what.
Yeah. A very apt name for them, I think. I hope they're having a wonderful time.
I did watch
However,
the Thekla
oh go.
AEW interview. She's a horny woman.
She's a horny woman and she's the weirdest woman in the world, and I love her. She's just so strange. I think it's delightful.
But you think you could take Clark Connors in a fight?
No, but I would try, and I think it
Okay.
would be admirable of me to try.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I feel like when you become a professional wrestler and you take over the book at Eve, you're just going to book everything around everyone being in love with each other and then fighting their boyfriends.
Yeah.
And I'm up for it. I think that's a strong direction that we need in wrestling.
And of course, the Bullet Club War Dogs in this match were accompanied by Gedo, who books New Japan, and quite frankly, criminal. Why is he books? Throws darts at a board and is like, that'll do.
Board and goes, yeah, Evil could win. And we're all like, no, not Evil.
Evil in the G1 finals really tested me.
There was a great Ted Kaneska quote, which was, Evil's my best opponent. He's the worst at everything. And I went, yeah. I don't think you know what that means, bud. Way to bury the guy.
But very funny.
Well, let's go
this
to the
match
main
was
card.
Good and fine. Perfect. No, good and fine match. Perfect way to like close out the pre-show and then get things moving for this main card.
Which opened with Cope and Christian versus, oh my god, Luchasaurus, aka Killshot, and oh god, what's the other one called?
Kip Sabian.
I just was like, not Nick Wayne. What the fuck's Kip
Not
Sabian's
Nick Wayne. This was good. It was a strong start. I mean, way to make sure the crowd is hot is by opening it with making us sing Metalingus, you know?
I think this was the best position, the best opening card match, because it wasn't the best match on the card. It was pretty average. It was very story heavy. It was a lot of Christian's still a dick, but now he's slightly face.
Yes. I enjoyed his Tron swapping out father for asshole. Very funny. That got a pop out of me.
Yeah.
The Cope sing-along has to happen, you know? I think London showed out for it. Do I know all the words to Metalingus? No. But does it matter when there's that many people? Sort of, no. So it was alright. But word from...
It's the best thing about Edge.
And word from all of my friends that watched the stream said that we sounded very loud, so that's good.
Definitely did.
Yeah, match was perfectly solid. Kip Sabian got bust open, bled a whole bunch. He was wearing one of Motherway's lace shirts from the looks of it. Hell yeah,
I
man!
had that note. I'm like, what the hell are you wearing, boy?
I kind of love it. I think it's great. Like, sure,
just-
man, show out.
I don't know. I was like, I'm not against it as a concept, but I don't
No,
know why you're wearing that down to a wrestling ring to fight your former father alongside a luchasaur dinosaur.
I think it's. I'm so glad to see Luchasaurus kill switch, whatever. I suppose he's technically kill switch right now, but everyone was still chanting Luchasaurus, so we know who we are.
The match was built around the fact that he seems to hate his own faction and
Yes.
just was like, yeah, I'm just going to basically keep on kicking your ass, Kip Sabian. Are we in a match?
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
Sorry, I just really don't like you. It's sort of Luchasaurus's tag offense kind of revolves around being able to toss his partner at people, and I enjoyed the ongoing bit of Kip Sabian taking this and being like, I'm not built for this. Where's Nick? Where's Nick? He does this. I don't do this. I'm little and fragile, and I wear lace and put eyeliner on, and I stand and look pretty. That's my job in this faction, please.
Or he could be teaming up with an old friend.
Well, exactly. Which I think is likely based on the return video package from Glasgow. I think the other person in that was quite likely a returning face that we will see.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I think it's really nice to see Luchasaurus alive because he
Yes.
almost died, and commentary didn't mention it. And I'm like, I get he's
No.
a heel, but he did
Yeah.
almost die.
I heard that the commentary just kind of didn't mention it, and I was like, he did almost die. Like, I'm glad he didn't, but he very much almost did.
Yeah. So Christian and Cope get the win.
Mhm.
They did their tag team finisher. The crowd went,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah!" And we all thought, they'll just be challenging FTR for the belts next pay per view. And then Tony had already read the internet and went, "Let's not do that."
Let's not do that. We don't want that. And I think
Oh, I
it's
think
the
they
right
did.
call.
I just think they realized the internet knew.
Yes.
Um,
Which, like, we'll get to the tag match later, but I think it's the right call, regardless of what you think of the match itself.
for sure. Yeah. You know what? I was properly every time Christian did his stupid Christian stuff, it popped me. I fucking love
Okay, me too.
Christian.
Well, like, I enjoy establishing that you can kind of work face and still not be a nice person. You know, like we
Yeah.
don't want him to change who he is, like as audiences, because like that gimmick got him over. People really like that gimmick.
It's refreshing that he didn't check. Like, I think because the storyline to get to this point was a bit rubbish,
Yeah,
it's nice that he hasn't changed character immediately and switched. Like, if he
yeah,
had just switched character, then we would have gone, well, what is this? But
yeah.
because it was a bit rough, him staying in character makes the story more compelling. And I think,
Well, and like jumping to this week's Dynamite, which I just caught up on, he and Cope face off against FTR for that. And Cope's tried to be like, whoa, Christian, we can't say this, we can't say this. And then here's the crowd and is like, oh, you're all sickos, fine. And Christian takes the mic and is like, and your father's dead. And we're all like, yeah! Like, the difference is just that now he's doing it to people we don't like. And that's fine.
yeah,
So I think it's fine and quite good, in fact, that Christian still gets to be a bit of an asshole. That's fine.
for
He's
sure.
our asshole, as Cope would say.
He's our arsehole. Next up, we had match of the night contender, I would argue.
Quite possibly.
This is Kyle Fletcher versus Hiromu Takahashi.
Takahashi, yeah. There's people behind me chanting Tanahashi, and I'm like, no, that's later.
Yeah, that's the wrong one.
Yep. Very good
This
match. Kyle Fletcher, what a guy! Like truly, just I'm so glad we are strapping a rocket to him and letting him just do his thing because he's incredible. Uh,
and
yeah,
if you didn't let him, he'd just stab you. Because if you
he would just
don't
stab
know,
you.
when you don't watch weekly television, which I don't often, um,
Yeah,
he stabbed a guy to win the belt.
yeah, yeah. Put a screwdriver in Dustin Rhodes' knee.
I don't even know how they did that. I don't. I
It was gnarly. It was gnarly to look at. And now Dustin Rhodes is having a double knee replacement, so I guess it was real bad.
like Dustin. You don't have to. We get it. We don't have to. You don't have to prove anything to us, okay? Like we're good. Like you're never
Oh,
gonna be
but
as
they
over as your dad or
do.
your brother, but that's okay. You don't have to
That's
be.
okay. That was also an incredible match. But yeah, Kyle shows out every single time. Um, I think he's just so good at putting on matches. He's such a good like stooge heel. Like the way he sells and reacts to things is so incredible, and does wonders for like elevating his matches, I think. So I'm just so glad he's getting to like really run with it. And Takahashi is such a little like I don't even know how to explain the like explosive energy Takahashi had in this match. It was wonderful.
He's a wrestling goblin.
Yes, it's very that actually.
He's a bit
Which
mad,
yes,
and he just goes at it no matter what. He just fucking goes for it.
yeah,
Love him.
yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah, what wonderful. Loved all the like rope spots here. Um, Takahashi got some wonderful offense encounters in. But that brainbuster, man, that brainbuster that the Fletcher can hit. It's no wonder that it ends matches.
I'd never walk again.
Yeah, I would just be like, actually, I'm alright. Thanks, man. Like
Um,
if they were like, "Oh, you're gonna wrestle for AEW," I'd be like, "Great," and they're like, "You're against Kyle Fletcher," I'd be like, "It's fine. I'll just sit
I,
over here. It's alright."
I don't need that on my
And
back.
like, hey, I love Sky Blue. I am not asking if Kyle Fletcher can fight. I absolutely know he can. I don't, I don't need to catch that smoke. It's fine.
Yeah, it, there's a really great like towards the latter half of the match. There's this great spot where like they just put over how Takahashi will just keep going and is a bit
Hmm.
mad for pain. So like they go into a
Yeah.
big chop spot and he just starts laughing, and it's
Yes.
so
I
it was
love it.
the match was never going to have any other result than Kyle Fletcher winning,
No.
but they did a really good job of putting over the story of the match and their characters, and they
And
just
also, I knew, like, obviously sitting there watching, I was like, there's no way in the world that Takahashi walks out of this match with the TNT title. Like, that just doesn't happen. And then how long did this match even run for? Because I got like, yeah, 14 minutes. I got maybe like 8 minutes into it, and like the near fall started happening. And I was like, oh shit, maybe it will. And I was like, it's not going to. The rational part of my brain knows that. But when a match is so good that it gets you into the point of believing that the other result might happen, you know they're doing good work out there.
I don't know if Takahashi has any interest in America, but I
If he
think New
does,
Japan are currently shitting themselves because they're like, oh god, we've given them another one.
yeah. Yeah, if he does have any interest in America, I would be more than thrilled to see more of Takahashi in AEW TV. Absolutely wonderful showing all round. And
Join the
well,
conglomeration.
The New Japan booking, the less I say about that, the better. Once
Hey,
again, booking air
it's
quotes
all leading to it's all leading to
to Tekla
something
killing
good.
Taro Okada.
Yeah, it's all leading to Evil winning the belt.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it's leading to. Oh, dear Lord.
Well, um, next up we had the TBS four-way.
The women
This
are back.
was Persephone
Yes.
from CMLL,
Yep.
Brazilla from Stardom,
Yep.
Alex Windsor, and our champion Mercedes Moné,
The CEO.
the CEO of TBS, and
Yes. The freshly crowned 9 belts Monet, as she picked up another one at Rev Pro this weekend.
what she should do is she should go to Japan and have a costume where the 9 belts form 9 tails.
Oh yeah, like a kitsune. Yeah, would be delightful.
I
Yeah.
just don't know on entrances. The entrances for this show were shit. All of them were
Yeah, they
bad and
weren't
boring.
great. I really expected them to show out more.
Yeah, I think it's the limited entrance way. They just went, we've got nothing.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Mercedes will always do something like fun at least, but she's done more.
It was terrible. Those
Yeah.
men, those indie British wrestlers did not know how to march. They didn't know
No.
what their choreography was.
No. Well, that's why I looked at them and because I wasn't like right close. I was in the hundreds, so I was close enough. But for the entrances, I was a little way away. But I watched them marching out of time, and I was like, "Oh, those are indie wrestlers. Lovely.
One
Those aren't
guy forgot
extras."
to hold the belt out. I don't want to bury these guys, but honestly, boys, what was going on here?
Oh,
I like at least 2 of them thought I had to dance. I saw their hips wriggle, and then they
yeah.
realized no one else was doing it, and they stopped immediately.
Well, the CEO dance is very infectious. I understand.
Anyway, the 4-way match. This was really entertaining.
Yes.
I think you believably thought there could be a title change because
Yes.
the last time she lost a belt or like a major belt, the New Japan Strong one, it was in a 3-way.
Yes.
So
So she didn't have to eat the pin. It could have been a case of she lost the title without taking a pin. And all very strong contenders, to be fair. Bozella is just the coolest woman in the world, though. She's so cool.
I really liked Persephone. She seemed
Persephone's
cool.
so good. Yeah. Persephone recently just cut a promo on CMLL inviting Mercedes back to run it back. So we might see a Persephone Moné match in future, which will
I
be
saw a lot of
lovely.
people thirsting after she dropped her like dress in the
Yeah.
entrance.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Brazil was the one I had nothing about.
Oh,
I heard that she last minute was the person that had been announced for the show.
yeah.
And she made a mention. So okay, she's big. She's
Yep.
she's big. Wow.
She's big.
Okay.
She has that really cool mask that smokes as she gets in.
Yeah, she's a Mortal
Incredible.
Kombat character.
Yeah, it's so good. I have a photo of her from Eve, like kneeling in the ring apron right in front of you with the smoking mask, and it looks really cool, is the thing.
She
And
impresses. She is pretty good. There was one
pretty
spot
good.
where she failed to kick out that I was like,
Yeah,
that was awful.
yeah.
But in
But
terms of like,
she's been wrestling for 3 years and she's 21.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no! Oh God, I hate her. How dare
Right.
she?
I know. This is the thing. She's so young and still relatively green, and she just looks incredible in ring. Like, all some of the technical stuff, I imagine will tighten up as she spends some more time in Japan. But I think she's got it. She's got it. You know?
My big takeaway is this woman is star potential. Like
Yeah.
her look and her move set, because she's quite agile for one of the like
Yeah.
large women, I guess we call them.
Yeah.
Like she still gives a lot in the ring of like some of these larger wrestlers like Amos and whatever the guy who was with um the former TNA boys.
Oh yeah.
Like really limited in the ring. She's not that
Yeah.
tall, but she offers like a bit like a Keith Lee. Keith Lee is fucking amazing in the ring.
Yeah.
Like yeah. I was really entertained by her. I was like, oh,
Hmm.
she's so cool. I
She's so
can't
cool,
wait
and
to see
she's
more of her.
such a good person to have in a multi-person match like this because by nature of her being big and strong and the monster in the ring, you get a lot of spots of, oh, well, we're all going to have to team up and take her out because she's the problem. Which is how this match starts, is Persephone and Alex being like, well, we can't have this happening. This is bad for us all.
Throw Moné out the ring, and then we'll deal with Bozilla. That's the story of the match. And it's
Yep.
constantly like, and then it becomes they take out Bozilla, and then Alex Windsor and Persephone go, well, we have to fight each other.
Exactly. Yeah, everyone got some really cool events in here. I think Bozilla absolutely got like the crowd shine. Like people really liked her. Alex, of course, getting those hometown pops, which I'm so glad that Alex has just come in and been put in such a good position. And she's handling it wonderfully. Like, I obviously saw Alex on the Indies, and I think she's always had very good potential. So I'm very glad that she's getting this good run. And yeah, just a perfectly solid for me. Really enjoyed it. Um, Mercedes, of course, is cowardly and sneaky and conniving, and that's how she's gonna make it through these matches.
Yeah, I think it's. I prefer this to she has a sidekick who helps her win in the belts. I think
Yeah,
I prefer an MJF style. I'm just gonna do the thing that will gets me the win.
yeah.
And she's had
Uh,
some great matches this year. I think I think the frustration at her reign comes from the
mhm.
first half of it, and the second half of it's been super solid.
Yeah, I think as well, like Mercedes is always like you can guarantee Mercedes will show out in the ring. Like you, I don't think I've seen like a truly bad match from her in a long time. Um, I think some people's frustration comes from like the lack of story in this reign, which I do understand. I think there has to be a downfall to the belt collector eventually,
Yeah,
but all these indie promotions love her, and for good reason. Like she's such a draw for
sells
them.
tickets.
She sells tickets. Their belts are on TV every week. Um, and after she won a new belt at Rev Pro, she won the Discovery Women's Championship off Emerson Jane, who is an excellent Scottish wrestler. She tweeted about it, was like, "Oh, I'm coming for your belts." And if you look at the replies, it's just full of like indie wrestlers holding their belts up, being like, "Come and take my belt as long as I get a match with you." Like
Yeah,
the business side of it is incredible for the industry. So I am a little more forgiving of it on that account.
she's defined women's wrestling in North America. Like
Yeah,
her time in WWE, it
yeah.
was some of the best women's wrestling they've ever had. Sure,
It was
there's
history
lots.
making.
It's history making, and like the booking's not always great, but like she always showed up in the matches and put on such a
Yeah.
great show.
I
Um,
mean, like, it was just, I think the Friday of Forbidden Door weekend was the 10th anniversary of her and Bailey's NXT TakeOver Brooklyn match.
yeah,
And, like, to have a match like that so early in your career, to be able to look back at it 10 years later on this run that she's having right now, is generational. She's so good. So I understand the story frustrations for some people, but industry wise, I think she's just doing so much for independent wrestling, for women's wrestling all over the world that I am very forgiving of her having as many belts as she wants, frankly.
let her go do
And
her nonsense. It's good
yeah,
nonsense.
it's good nonsense. And frankly, she sold her ass off in this match. She took some gnarly bumps. She made all of those women look great. And then just won with that sneaky little leverage pin at the last minute. So she didn't even get like proper offense in beyond a couple of her signatures. She was just there to make those women look good, which she did incredibly, given that I imagine most of the Forbidden Door crowd did not know Bozella before she came out, and by the end, everyone was chanting her name.
And that's what I love about these shows when they have a little
Yeah,
bit of crossover is you go away leaving like I love that wrestler now. I can't wait to
yeah,
see them again. Like,
Hmm.
and there's 2 new female wrestlers I hadn't seen before. I'd heard of Persephone, but I hadn't seen any matches. I went, right, great. These 2 are great stars in the future and potential. Like, Brazilia's got so much potential. Persephone
Hmm.
has so much, like, just cool factor when she came out. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I can see why she's the top woman in CMLL. Like, wow.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a great match, even if it was an unsurprising result.
Yeah. Which I think a little bit of the trend of the night, but
Yeah.
I think that's okay for the most part. Like
Speaking
I
of
don't mind a predictable result if I get a banger match out of it.
speaking of which, the match of the night, in my opinion,
Ah, real graps.
Nigel
This was real
McGuinness
graps.
versus Zack Sabre Jr. Oh
Oh,
my
this was great.
god!
Again, everyone loved Nigel so much in the O2. The amount of times we sang for him, like, oh, real graps. I love technical wrestling.
They had a great video package for his entrance where he sits
Hmm.
down with Johnny Saints, British legendary wrestler. Brit wrestling like black and white TV tape, not quite, but like
Not quite, but a good
iconic
will.
British wrestler from like a time of British wrestling that's kind of been lost to the
Mhm.
ages. The defined British strong style base, or like the technical wrestling that became British strong style. It
Yes.
was him, and there was another lovely old gentleman at ringside for this match. I cannot remember his name, but
I don't remember who was
they
ringside.
they they, they sat there for this whole match, and they did not give anything away in their faces. Uh,
Beautiful.
but we get Nigel McGuinness having the match, I would almost argue, of his career. I know he has absolute barnstormers in his past with
Yes.
Bryan Danielson, but I
Yeah,
think
I
the
think
emotion.
it's this and it's the Danielson matches, right? Like those are the Nigel matches. If you had to introduce someone to him for the first time, you're like, this is his heyday. This is like the match.
He does such a good job keeping up with Zack Sabre Jr., my favourite man.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has a partner, but I will fight them. Uh,
Can they fight? Just asking.
um, can they fight, or are they just willing to let Zack lock me up a little bit?
Yeah, like he makes it look so easy.
I think he'd fix my joints.
I
Uh,
genuinely think he might. Like it might not be pleasant, but I think it would fix you.
I think I'd love it even if it didn't.
Yes.
Anyway, this was a technical masterclass between 2
Yes.
guys who know how to technical in front of a crowd that wasn't bored by it.
Every time like people were cheering for it, I thought about that Zack Sabre Jr. quote about technical wrestling for American audiences being like reading Shakespeare to a dog. And I was like, I'm so glad we are not dogs being read Shakespeare. Like I'm so glad we're in this match with him.
Part of me was like, oh, is the British wrestling scene actually at that level up for it? And they were. So I don't know why I doubted
Yeah.
it. But like, yeah,
I'm
fucking.
so glad we were as well because I was so looking forward to this match. I love technical wrestling. I love Zack Sabre Jr. I love Nigel. That's my friend Nigel. Um, and yeah, I was just so glad to hear everyone like responding appropriately. And I was like, yes, yes, we're here. Let's do it.
Daniel Garcia was on the side for
Yes.
Nigel, and he had a towel. And about halfway through the match, I looked over at Garcia and went, "Oh no, he's got a towel. He's going to throw the towel in for Nigel."
Yeah, I was surprised that Chekhov's towel did not come into play.
I think I get because when it didn't happen, I was like, "Oh, huh."
Yeah.
I kind of think that would have been a more dramatic end to this match. But I think
Hmm.
what they were trying to do was not have
Yeah.
Nigel look weak in
Yeah.
Lost. I think they tried to protect him by it just being like a quick roll up.
Yeah,
That
I mean, like, it wasn't a definitive pin. Like, it was a tricksy little counter roll up that got him. So, like, he still looked very, very good. So I do understand why they didn't do it. I did think they were going to have Garcia turn heel at some point in this match. However, there does, lo and behold, finally seem to be a plan for Daniel Garcia going forward. So I'm interested to see how that goes at least. And if that pays off, this heel turn not happening feels fine.
I agree. I think this was a really. I think in retrospect, I look back at it and go, actually, this was a perfect match for both guys.
Yeah.
They showed off their strengths, and like the story stuff can come later because this really was a dream match.
Yeah.
And British wrestling, and it's probably a great. We love you, Zach, but we are going to let Evil beat you for the belt. So Konosuke
So yeah,
Takeshita can get it off Evil.
yeah.
Or they'll probably just. Well, I forget that Zack Sabre Jr. is technically a face in New Japan, right? So
Yeah, which wild.
Takeshita's just going to beat him for it. Wrestle
Nigel
Dream,
had
not Wrestle
the
Dream.
most Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom, yeah.
Nigel had the most beautiful lariat counter that like made me audibly gasp and like leap to my feet in the O2. Like, did everyone else just see that? Like, it was so genuinely delightful. And also, Zach got his big "fuck the Tories" chant, which I'm so glad prevails no matter what he's doing.
I mean, he has been as critical about Starmer because the man has a
Oh
political
yeah,
backing. Like, it is what
as
made me
he's
fall
right
in
to
love with
be.
him. Yeah,
Yes,
I think he's a British, very handsome, does a
yep,
type of wrestling no one else does, and his political understanding of the world is very solid, and he gets to use
yes.
it in his character. And I
I think it's great.
could kiss the man.
Yeah, no, he's wonderful. Again, unexpected result, but I love that Nigel got that moment. I love that they had that sort of moment of respect between each other at the very end. Lovely, all round.
Great. I would watch the wrestle again, and I think this match has proved that Nigel still has like this match took back the years because I think his previous two matches in AEW, the Danielson one was fine, but it was a
It was
bit
fine.
disappointing. The
Yeah,
tag one he did with Garcia was pretty good because they protected him, but here,
yeah,
and it's probably a lot to do with the style of match and Zach being able to like
yes,
put the work in to make him look great.
yeah.
So Nigel doesn't. Yeah.
I don't think Nigel will ever do like a lot of high spot matches or any of the sort of barnstormers that maybe he used to do. But a perfectly like solid technical match like this looks $1 million on him. He looked great the whole time, and I'm so glad I got to see it.
Danielson was on commentary for most of the night.
Yes,
He was okay.
he was okay.
I
I
think
did see the clip where he admitted he was rooting for Nigel, which I was like, oh, my heart for their little rivalry.
he was great in this match.
Yes.
So I think back when he was in WWE, they sometimes let him go on commentary on some of these like lower C card shows that no one watches, and he
Hmm.
would just make up shit on the fly.
Love
And
that for him.
I think he's struggling to not do
Yeah,
that.
fair.
There was a joke he made, and the rest of the commentary desk just sandbagged him, and it was
Oh,
like this was it, but it was so unfunny.
yeah.
I think it was that Kyle Fletcher had been getting attention from Taylor Swift, and the
Oh,
commentary
yes,
desk just
okay.
went, "What the fuck are you on, man?"
Oh dear.
Yeah, I think
But
he's a
I'm
great
glad he got to
addition.
be on commentary for this match at least, because that's very fun knowing the history of all men involved.
I don't know if he's permanently going to commentary in AEW, but I think he's a
Yeah.
good fit. I think he works
Yeah.
well in the three-man booth of Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Danielson.
Yeah.
He was meant to be on the pre-show, but he didn't show up. So
Yeah. I thought that. I was like, Danielson is not here, so that's interesting.
I think I don't know if commentary was like, I don't know what happened. Could have been anything.
Who knows?
We could have had another CM Punk backstage.
Probably got
Like,
lost on the tube or stuck in the queue outside at entrance B, which was going on for 3 miles for no reason.
yeah, that's
However,
incredibly possible. Next up, I took a toilet break here because if I was in the stadium, this would have been my toilet lunch break. I'm
uh-huh.
like, I whatever
Well,
this.
no, very importantly, before we get to the next match,
Oh God, yeah, I haven't got pictures of this.
we got the reveal that Aminata and Tekla had been brawling backstage since the 0 hour. Longest match of the night has been going for 2 hours at this point. Just so angry at each other. So they come back out to brawl down the entrance ramp again. Sky and Julia pop up to grab Aminata, set her up for Tekla to get some offense in, and then beautifully in her hometown for the second time, but it's fine. Big Jamie Hayter, she's back finally, and it was so nice to see her. I was delighted. Um, Wonderful reaction all round. And I'm glad that we seem to be picking up that thread of that Jamie Tekla feud. Um, I hope that
Well,
Aminata doesn't get sidelined, but from looks of it, so far she seems to still be involved. So we'll see who they tag Tekla with.
that's what I was kind of saying. Was like I said this. I think on a Discord that like the person who's got the most out of this Jamie Hayter injury is Queen
Mhm.
Adamada.
Absolutely.
She's basically taken Hayter's place in a feud.
Yeah.
So she's kind of because I think what AEW did a really good job of is making the women's lower card feel
Hmm.
like the mid card without a belt.
Yeah.
Because they're not really interacting with the mid card belt because
No,
Moné is on Moné
it's locked
Island.
up with Mercedes. Yeah.
But there's all these little micro feuds happening in
Hmm.
the lower card, and they are getting so much time on Collision,
Yes.
um, and some of it's on Dynamite. They they get spots on the pay per view. There was 3 women's matches on this whole pay per view, if you include the pre show and this
Yeah.
angle. This is
Yeah.
women are like they have put so much work, and the women have done such a good job of getting themselves over.
Yeah. That mid card feels so strong. And the fact that Aminata was very clearly like tapped in to fight Tekla when Jamie was out with injury, and then they've sort of organically created this feud just by virtue of the fact that people thought there was real heat in that first match because they both work stiff. Like
They do.
people legit, they both work stiff. Tekla, as far as I've seen, has always worked stiff, so this is not a surprise to me. And people thought there was actual legitimate heat backstage, and both of them were like, "Okay, so now we just hate each other on site," and I think that's beautiful.
I saw Thekla do her spider walk as a counter to Alaria, and I went, "Oh no, that
Yes,
is cool! I've seen it
yes,
now. That's
yes.
fucking awesome."
Like the Spire bridge, just as like a spot, is fun. But when she uses it as a counter, it pops me so hard because it's like. Imagine you try to lie at someone and they just like spider bridge. You'd be like, "Fuck,
I feel like,
what
well,
is that?"
I can't beat that.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I'm glad to have Jamie back. I hope Aminata still gets her time in the sun with this feud because her and Tekla have been doing great work together. Um, so far it's looking promising. Her and Jamie interacting, all of that. So hopefully it goes that way. I will be curious to see which of the Triangle of Madness Tekla tags with, though, if they go down the
Yeah,
tag route. Because obviously Sky and Julie are kind of a mid tag team, and Tekla's your singles wrestler there. But we'll see.
yeah. Well, we'll talk about tag team wrestling of a sort
Yeah.
as we talk about this tag team match. I don't like to be negative about AEW. I've got
No.
some things to say about this. I think actually it was a really watchable match.
Yeah.
Bandido and Brody King versus FTR versus the Hurt Syndicate. It was a really watchable match. There's some really
Yeah.
entertaining bits. I think Brody King and Bandido actually brought a lot to this match to make it more entertaining.
I think so. Yeah.
Um, the story of this match is FTR and Bandido had a match where if one of them won, they'd challenge for the belts, and they got to a time limit draw or some nonsense, and
Yeah, it was a time limit draw.
they had to fight. It became a freeway for the Hurt Syndicate, and a lot of the reports going into this is that Hurt Syndicate are refusing to lose
Mhm.
to anyone they perceive as below them, which is
Yeah,
basically any talent who hasn't
everyone.
previously been in WWE.
Yeah,
Um, much like it seems like from reports, Malachi Black, Andrade, Rusev, all of these guys kind of come in and they seem to kind of like
have
place
a bit of a chip on their
themselves.
shoulders.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, but I don't know how much we should put into these reports, or if they're just gonna
Yeah,
like rumor mill slash people trying to get heat, whatever.
yeah. I don't know how
So
much of it is true. However,
how
it makes the angle in this match very funny.
yeah, you can watch this match and go, well, if this isn't true, that's wild. Uh,
Yeah,
at some point in the match, some New Japan Pro Wrestling shirts attack, and you're like, oh, who could this be? This could be a really fun. Oh, it's just the Gates of Agony and Ricochet. Oh,
yes,
okay.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
that is set up in the story because they have turned down Ricochet, and you did think. I thought
yep,
it was a shame that Hurt Business didn't go into business with Ricochet because I think
yes.
that works as a unit.
Mhm,
Um, and then we just left with FTR and Bandido, and
mhm.
at some point, everyone lost track of who was tagged in.
Yes, I absolutely lost track of who's tagged in. I was like, I don't know who's legal. I don't know what's happening.
I think one of the Syndicate were legal before they left. Is what I think
I
happened.
Yeah, I also think that. So I'm just like, okay, so I don't know who's legal anymore. I guess we just have to figure that out. Um,
Do you know how you
yeah,
fix this? You fix this by having three-way tag matches, having 3 men legal. I know it's more
yes.
difficult to book, but it just
Well, because the
pet
idea of
peeve.
only two of them being legal is so confusing because all three teams are also trying to get in the ring. Um, so yeah, I think like some of the like technical aspects of this, like that, the legality of who was who and whatnot, was sloppy. However, was this the right result? Yes, absolutely. I think it definitely was.
Brodido winning the belt is fascinating because
It's so good. I'm so into it.
I think the tag division in AEW has got a real big problem, and it's that
Yes.
they don't know what to do with it, and
Yes.
they keep on creating new teams who
Yep.
or using new teams who get over, but then someone at the back says they're not ready. Like Private Party are an absolute loss for AEW. When they came
Yeah.
in back in the start of AEW, they were white hot. They had fucking
Yeah.
amazing matches with the Young Bucks, and at no
Yeah.
point did Tony go, "We should put the fucking belt on them,"
Yeah.
because for some reason, they were just seen as being like not strong enough wrestlers, and that's true
Yeah.
about that whole career. And they've probably gone now to WWE, and it's like you've
Quite
wasted
possibly.
those two boys. They are
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's
and like
an ongoing problem with tag wrestling generally. And I don't know if it's a case of people see tag wrestling as inferior to singles wrestling or whatever. Um, but Brodino getting the belts here, I think, is a really good sign for the tag division. Whether that booking and energy continues, we'll see. But having Brodino have the belts is absolutely the best result I could have hoped for out of this match, no matter how we got here.
yeah, it was an. I think that's true about a lot of some of the matches in this card. There is some nonsense, but the right
Yes,
result happened in the end, and
yes,
overall, whatever. Like I've got the picture I've got is the spot where Bodido and Bandido and uh, Dash Wilder go off the top onto everyone, which
yes.
that spot fucking ruled.
hmm And again, we had a great chance going. We got Wheeler's got a gun came back. We got a nice big fuck the revival chant happening,
The
which was very
revival.
funny.
That's what they were called. I was thinking
Yeah,
about what the fuck the revival used to be called. Like, what the fuck
yeah,
were they in NXT? I couldn't remember. They're not the
yeah.
renovation.
No, so deeply, deeply funny that it's so long ago and we're all like, yeah, fuck the revival.
Hey,
Um,
listen, they're good at their jobs. They're good at their jobs. I like
they're good at their
FTR.
jobs. I do too.
Um,
Well, I don't, but I dislike them in the way that I'm meant to dislike them, which I
yeah,
think is an important distinction to make. And Brody King is so deeply, deeply over right now, and I think that's beautiful. I love him. I think he's wonderful. Um,
he just
yeah, he's
he's
just so
cool
cool. He's
and he
cool.
does great things in the ring.
Yep.
He looks like no one else really in the AEW
Hmm.
roster. I think like it's not it wasn't just um the ice shirt that got him
Yeah,
over because he was over before that. I
he
think
was over
it
before
has
that.
it skyrocketed him. It was like because
It's the confirmation of, oh, I really like this guy. He looks cool. He works well in the ring. Oh, he's also a cool as hell person. Hell yeah, let's go all in on this guy.
he
Uh, yeah.
I think the audience of AEW is left leaning, if not
Yes.
liberals. And
Yes.
when we see that, we do get warm feelings in
We
ourselves.
respond
We're
to
like,
that
oh,
because it's,
we
yeah,
we have made the right choice in supporting these guys because
especially in an industry like wrestling, which is so rife with terrible people,
terrible people all the fucking
terrible
time.
people everywhere.
Like,
So, yeah,
and you get really like because wrestling is the way it is. It's built around getting you emotionally invested in characters and supporting them.
yeah.
When it turns out the person you've been supporting is a fucking asshole or
You're
worse,
like,
you're like,
oh,
how
well,
am I
that's
meant to
kind of
invest in
ruined it
this
for
again?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
Um,
weird thing of wrestling being like, yes, it's kayfabe, yes, they're telling stories, but also that line between the real person and the kayfabe person is very nebulous sometimes, and it's hard to set it aside.
the 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 kayfabe and the mix between reality and fiction has already been. The wrestling plays with it all the time, so like
Yeah,
it makes sense that we also play with it as audiences, going like, the people I support are the best people because they're
yeah.
good at the ring and I like them as people.
Well, like wrestling
Uh,
plays with it all the time, and the rules are not consistent from wrestler to wrestler. Like we established here and in Dynamite this week that Alex Windsor, the wrestler, and Will Ospreay, the wrestler, are together in kayfabe as well as in real life. We've
yeah,
established that John Moxley and Renee Paquette are together in the kayfabe, and it's sort of less prominent for them than it is for Will and Alex, but that's still established. Tony Storm and Josh Robinson do not know each other. Those people don't know
Kyle
each other.
Fletcher and Sky Blue do not know each
Don't know
other.
each other. Yeah, like so the rules are not consistent. So I think it's you can't delineate the same way. So yeah, when we see a guy we like have an opinion that we also share, that feels good. Um, but also Brody's just such a good wrestler. Like a guy that size being literally Libre trained and like whipping out a Hurricane Rana, and you're like, hell yeah, man! Like I don't think you should be able to do that, but it rules that you can.
Also, I quite like Bandido. I just think his finish is really dumb.
Yeah,
This
I like their
his
tag
signature requires,
finish.
yes, their tag finish is great, but like the setup to get to Bandido's finish is so complicated. I'm like,
Yeah,
how am I meant to believe this, friends?
yeah. That's also how I feel about Sky Blue. I like her when she hits a code blue that works. It looks good, but most of the time I'm like, we're getting there, but it's taking a minute.
Choose
Oh,
simple
that's
finishes,
fine.
boys. Choose simple
It's
finishes.
simple finish,
Um,
but you can hit on anyone. That's why
but
Jamie Hayter's finish
it's
is so
fun to
good.
have those. It's fun to have those moves when those opportunities
Yeah,
arise, but don't rely on them to finish a match.
yeah.
Um, next up, we got Okada versus Swerve Strickland. I think this is better than the Omega match.
This was very good. Um, Again, this was one of those ones where going in, I thought, oh, there's a chance they belt up Swerve here. And then reports came out that he had been wrestling with a torn meniscus since 2019. And I was like,
Fuck's
they're
sake,
not building
boys!
they're not building up Swerve here.
Protect your bodies.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like he tore his meniscus back when he was in NXT and simply never fixed it. Simply never fixed it.
I did have the thought watching this match, I'm like, it's fucking wild that this is the same guy who was in WWE. This is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. And, you know, Swerve put on some of the matches of his career. He put on that whole feud with Hangman that was incredible. He's done incredible stuff. But the fact that he's been hiding it for 6 years and news came out right before Forbidden Door, I'm like, they're not building him up, which is fine. However, it made it an expected result here as well. Again, you know, it is what it is. The match was incredible.
I hadn't read the reports. I fully bought into the idea that Swerve could win here.
Yeah. Well, before the reports, I did too, because I was like, this could go this way for him. But then I was like, well, you know, maybe it's not to be. And then Okada started working his knee during the match. I was like, oh, I see where this is going. I understand.
However, I'll say this now so I don't bring it up in the main event. It's funny that both Swerve and Ospreay won the match that meant they didn't have to check. They could still challenge the belt for a year, and both have gone off for surgery. They should have lost that match.
They could have just lost that match. But I suppose like you can't sell the consequences if they're just not on TV. Which, you know. And also it gave me my favourite Young Bucks gimmick of all time, so I'm fine with it.
The Young Bucks are doing something. You're right, but they could have lost the match and it would have made sense.
They could have lost the match. But I think it makes more sense to have whoever lost be the ones who stick around so that they can sell how bad it is that they've lost. But it is very funny in retrospect.
This was 4.75 stars, Okada. Like, he showed up and he went. I think it was the energy of Swerve against the stoic, like, I will just take your moves and then finally find a kick in there, a drop kick in there. It was fantastic to watch. There was no Don Callis interference. I felt, just
having, like, whether you think Okada or Omega should have won this unified belt is by the by. But having these matches done under continental rules so there can't be interference, I think is going to be such a boon going forward, especially with Okada having it. Because it means fucking Don Callis can't involve himself.
Yeah. This match was great. Post-match angle, we get Wardlow returning.
Yeah. But sure.
And joining the Don Callis family. Sorry, Lance Archer.
Yeah, it's kind of that. I have no strong feelings about Wardlow. Sure, he's here, I guess. But there's a much more interesting angle in the Don Callis family right now. And that's Takeshita coming back from the G1. And then him and Okada getting that face-off.
That match is going to slap. That match
is going to be something. So I'm excited that they're building that.
Can I ask you to test it? I think might be the next best wrestler in the world. I think he probably already is, but they haven't started calling him it. But he will be.
But I won't be surprised if it comes soon because he's very, very good. And yeah, that match against Okada, when they eventually pull the trigger on that, will be something special.
If you can fight.
just while we're putting out challenges for everyone.
We're just challenging everyone's partners so he can win.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, that's no, yeah. The Don Callis family, there needs to be an end point to it, or like a purpose, because at this point it's just growing and growing and growing, and I'm like, and
I'm curious to see if they're set up as like the next big like heel faction causing problems once we deal with the Death Riders.
Yeah, I feel
it's quite a large faction.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just they think that Don Callis helps with heat.
Yes.
And he does, because people hate him. And
but also, a lot of the time, people are chanting for him and not the wrestler.
Yeah. It's like Jericho's Inner Circle and the Learning Tree and stuff. Like, they're always like, well, he'll help people get over. But people are more like, or either like, Jericho won't let them get over, or the crowd is more into them, or
Yeah,
he just buries them. So it's like,
yeah.
I think Don Callis has a much better way of getting guys over, and he does do some fun heel manager stuff. But I think there's just too
Yes,
many guys in that faction.
and I think he's good when he's on commentary for Callis family matches.
Yeah,
He does a good job of putting people over on commentary. But we're getting to a manageable size now. So, to be fair, the Takeshita face turn and turning on Okada might help with that. We'll see how that goes.
I
I would be
can't
interested to
wait.
see if we do a faction split and see if
Yeah,
people follow Takeshita instead.
I can't wait for the Don Callis family versus Wolfpack Don Callis family.
Yes.
And they're all like, "What's our name? We don't have a name.
We
We
don't
can't
have a
just
name.
call
We'll
ourselves
figure it out.
Neo Don Callis family. He's the guy we're feuding with."
Neo DCF and just never elaborate on what DC stands for.
Fuck Don Callis is what they should call themselves.
Correct. Very fuck the revival. They're just fucked on Callis.
Yeah, I agree. Wardlow, I've had nothing to say about Wardlow since he debuted. Like,
Yeah, I still have
back
nothing to say about
back
Wardlow.
when he was first announced to join out to AEW, there was like a video for him, and we all went, "Who?" And at no point have we
Yeah.
ever stopped going,
Who?
"Huh?"
Hmm?
And
Yeah,
some of that
fair.
is MJF's fault. MJF
Well,
buried the man. But you know what? Maybe he was right too. I'm not. Listen, people will say Hangman did nothing wrong, and I'll go, well, I'm not sure about that.
well,
And people will go, MJF did nothing wrong, and I'm like, yeah, I agree, 100%.
well, I'll get into it a little bit when we get to the Hangman MJF match, but MJF is technically right in this feud, and I think that's a really interesting place to be in.
He's always technically right. That's why he's great.
But also, being technically right is the worst type of right to be because no one cares if you're technically right.
I love that man more than I should.
So
Anyway,
fair.
talking about things we love more than anything else. If Zack Sabre Jr. wasn't on this card, this would be match of the night for me. I'm sure it was Bex's match of the night.
That was very good.
Athena
I
and Tony Storm.
Right, for context, I'm sat in the O2. Okada's Swerve is coming to an end. I'm going, tapping the person I came with, going, the women are next. The women are next. I know they haven't told us that, but I know that they are because there's 3 matches left and they're going to do women's, men's, lights out. That's how that's going to work. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, trust me. They start playing the video package for this match. I start crying. I cry until the end of Tony's entrance. And then I walk into this match so severely that I am sat forward with my elbows braced on my knees, clasping my hands like I'm praying. Both my knees and my hands are shaking like this, and they shake like that for 15 full minutes. And then the person I'm with videos me at the end, and I cannot share that video anywhere because I hit pitches only dogs can hear. That was my experience with this match. I had to rewatch it to remember anything that happened because I was just shaking and frantic the whole time.
I had a similar experience when I saw Will Ospreay live for the first time.
Right,
There's a video
yeah.
of me attempting to sing his theme, and by the 3rd word, my voice goes.
Yep. It's wild. However, an incredible match. I love both of these women. Going into this match, I was like, I want both of these women to win, but I want neither of them to lose. Very difficult place to be in a singles wrestling match.
They have the best chemistry out of
They have
all of the
very good
feuds.
ring chemistry.
In ring, Athena and Tony Storm they just get on so well.
Yes. Quite frankly, this match should have ran 5 minutes longer.
Yeah.
That's my biggest complaint of this match.
The ending was a bit
I
rushed.
think running longer would have helped that ending. Because I agree, it's the one downfall of this match is that the ending is a little abrupt. And I think if they'd had more time, they could have sold that in a way that people would have been a lot happier with.
Athena is a great big match wrestler. That's why they've been
Yes.
putting her on ROH as the champion, because she
Yeah.
fucking puts on masterclass matches every
Yeah.
time.
Every time. She's so explosive and agile and has such wonderful power behind everything she does that everything looks incredible.
And she's got the character work like Tony does. Like they are a
Yeah.
great match for each other.
Yes,
I really enjoyed this.
I did too. I thought it was wonderful. I do really enjoy that. So the match ends in Tony's submission finisher, the TCM chicken wing. I enjoy that the consistent spot throughout that match is you see Tony try to lock in a submission multiple times and just can't quite get it. And I think it's because like the story they tell here very early on is like so many of Tony's matches, she takes all the big hits and goes, "Oh fuck, I'm outpowered. Time to get clever with it." Because I don't think Tony Storm is the most powerful wrestler. She's not hitting the huge big moves that some of her opponents can, but she's tricksy, and I think that's what makes it very interesting to watch her be out sort of out overpowered in the ring, is because you're like, well, she's gonna have some tricksy little way of getting around it.
What commentary put over a lot was Tony wrestles week in, week out, maybe sometimes twice a week, because she's on
Yeah,
Dynamite and Collision.
yeah,
And she does that because she wants to be at her best and she wants to find out information about people. But it means when she's in the big matches, she could be injured, she could be worn
yeah,
out, and the opponents can use that. And it's
yeah,
just that her ring savvy is what gets her the win every time.
yeah.
And that was done beautifully in this match. And I think
Well,
they made
I think
Athena look like $1 million.
yeah, I think looking as is always the case, I'm generally very good at calling wrestling stories, match results, things like that. I'm very bad at calling Tonys because I'm emotionally invested. So I just have no clue. But when you look back, the tag match with Mercedes, Athena, Alex, and Tony on the Glasgow Dynamite show ends with what everyone at the time thought was a shoot injury for Tony, where she got a pile driver in the steel steps, and they sold that injury to her neck. Which, like, with what commentary are putting over is what they're saying, right? Like, she works every week. She works every week to know her opponents, to know what she's doing, to get her reps in, to stay aware of this ring. But sometimes that's a disadvantage because now she's coming in and she's worn and she's injured and whatever. But I also think it's not a coincidence that in the lead up, Athena got off 2 successful low faces on Tony. So when it happened in the big match, Tony went, "Oh, I know how to get away from this because you've done it to me already." And yeah, like she's a smart champion and she's a fighting champion for a reason. And I think this match was a great showcase of why that's the way she does it, rather than saving herself for big matches and doing big spots. It's not her style.
I think she's AEW's best women's champion of all time.
Yeah,
Not just because of the
she's
character
just
work, but because she's there every week and putting on amazing matches. And obviously, some of that is her star power that
yeah,
allows her to have that ability. Like there have been amazing women's champions that just don't get the screen time because
yeah,
for whatever reason they're not drawing the audience. Where Tony outdraws pretty much everything else on the card.
yeah. She's done incredible work with her character. She's so consistently on TV. She's so consistent in the ring nowadays that it's very easy to feature her so heavily. And she's just like, I understand why people wanted Athena to take the belt. I really do. And quite frankly, I was like, if you're going to dethrone Tony, Athena is a very good option. But I'm also like, I can't blame them for wanting to keep her as their champion. She's
I
such a huge draw.
I wouldn't take the belt off her for another year because I think you get too much value out of every
She's so
story
good.
that she's in. I think
And like, I
whoever
really don't know who takes it off her at this point. I
I
just
hope
don't, because
I hope they use it to build a star, because that's what they
yeah,
should do. Like if Mariah May hadn't left, that would have been star making for her. But
yeah,
because she had one foot out the door the entire time, to
yeah.
be fair,
And it's
they
hard
gave her a
as
bloody good story, and then she
they
went, you
did,
know what, I'm gonna go elsewhere and do not good stories.
which her prerogative. But it's like, you know, I wonder how much of that was backstage. Everyone kind of knew that she was moving on when this was done, and so that's why they put the belt back on Tori. I would have been curious to know if she had been like someone who was like an AEW lifer, would she have then dropped to someone different? Or do we think we always get the Tony comeback? You know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think there's a world where if she's a lifer, they keep the belt on her and they kill Timeless Tony Storm in that match.
Yeah.
Or they just put her like they take them
Or
apart
they,
for a long time.
yeah, they take them apart for a long time. Maybe Tony stays timeless, whatever. Mariah drops to someone else in the company,
Yeah,
and then quite frankly, they can have a non-title feud and have that death match to end that
yeah.
story together. But I wonder how much the backstage influences it. But uh, yeah, like I really do understand why people wanted Athena to go over here. Um,
I
and
think my argument is that Athena is actually a star. Like
yeah,
she is a star. You don't need her to have
you don't need to
giving
make
it to
her.
her would. I think to do that, you need to establish her minion character a bit better because it
Yeah,
seems to have just moved over and they've never established what it is. Like,
yeah. And like Billy's there, but that's her only minion that she's brought over from Ring
yeah,
of Honor. And going forward from the looks of it, she's on a bunch of the Dynamite posters. So like she's becoming a mainstay in AEW,
yeah,
which as she should, of course she should.
yeah.
Probably should have done it a lot earlier, but you know, they're now locked in that unbeatable champ thing that they have for Ring of Honor. So we'll see how that goes. Um, but
I think it's
I think
Hater. It has to be.
I think
It's either
Hater's a very strong
Hater
option.
or a new heel they haven't introduced yet.
I think my in my head the biggest options I can see right now, given that you know they can introduce people, they can build people, whatever, is Hater gets her lick back from when she was put out injured, or you commit to turning Stat heel and Stat does it.
Yeah.
But given that they don't know what they're doing with Stat heel or face, I think they have to make that call because I mean Tony and Chris have never had a singles match, so you could absolutely sell that as a title shot that goes there. It's just you have to commit to Stat turning heel if you're doing that.
Another option, which is one I don't think they'll do, is
Mm,
they'll have Thekla win the Hater feud and
yes,
go on to challenge for the
I could
belt
also see that. She
and
is
win it.
currently the only other viable heel I can see doing it right now.
Yeah.
But it depends how long they keep it on Tony, and it depends who else they have in the wings or what else comes up. But as it
Thunder
stands,
Rosa's still hanging around, isn't she? She's not gone. She's
yeah,
still there.
yeah, she's still there. I think she's shaky on injury though. She got injured in that casino gauntlet at All In, and I think hasn't been back since.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
but
Well,
incredible match. We got some Billy interference. Mina came out to make the save. I love the girlfriends. Excited to see how that Mina Athena match goes, which is tonight at time of recording. Death Before Dishonor.
oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So interesting for that. And I really enjoyed the spot where Tori got flung into the boards, they turned off, and then later she flung Athena into the boards and they turned back on. I
I was
love
like,
women in STEM.
there's no way there's no way that's not a working board.
Of course.
That's not shoot.
No. But women in STEM, Tony Storm can fix anything
uh,
she wants.
uh, yeah, it'd be very funny if Mina won the belt and they girlfriends of belts.
I think that would be beautiful, frankly.
They can make the belts
I,
kiss. That's very
I
funny.
think they'll let Athena get to 1,000 days and then they'll dethrone her. Which we're not far off. I think we're at 990 today. So I
Yeah.
would be surprised if we see Athena drop come next Ring of Honor
It
pay-per-view.
is
But
mad she's held the belt for that long. It's
1,000
not when you
days.
look at ROH and you actually go, well, actually, their women's division is quite
Not
limited.
great. Yeah.
And in general, ROH basically exists as developmental that no one watches.
Yes.
There are people who watch it, but it's such a small audience because it's its own separate subscription model.
I know, which I wish it wasn't, but I understand they've tried to get TV deals and it's just kind of not been anything, which is fine. But yeah, I would like to see them do some more with it. However, I think there's a chance we see Athena drop that championship once she hits 1,000 days, and then she can become full-time mainstay in
The
AEW
natural
TV.
story is that Billy beats
Billy
her for the
takes
belt.
that. Yeah.
And that,
which I hope they do.
Yeah.
So I think it makes more sense. But we'll see. Either way, an excellent match. Athena looked incredible. Tony great as ever. I'm just so glad we're getting more Athena on TV. Can't complain.
Can't complain. And we have been talking about that match for maybe as long as it went on.
Yeah.
Because
It should have
the
went
Tony
5
Storm
minutes
fan
longer.
club, unless you couldn't tell. We love women.
We love women.
Next up, we had the AEW World Championship match between MJF and Hangman Adam Page. If Hangman gets disqualified or counted out, he will lose the belt.
Yes.
Really good match. I
Really good
really
match.
liked it. I think they are great together. I think it is a solid match.
Yes.
MJF likes to have nonsense finishes.
Yes. There was a little too much nonsense. Just
There was
slightly.
too much nonsense.
But there was too much.
And I think, for me, the ending of this match is MJF cheats behind the ref's back.
Yes.
Knocks, so he gets Hangman. The ref is down. So
yes,
as they go for the pin, Hangman gets his foot on the rope. But because the ref is knocked, he doesn't see it. So he counts to 3, but doesn't call for the bell, which is it's weird because you don't normally see that moment.
Yeah,
so it
normally the bell just kind of goes. Yeah.
So that was weird.
Yes.
And then
that would have been better solved by having it be a count to 2, but the ref's not, so doesn't complete the count or whatever. The 3 count was weird because everyone in that audience thought it was over.
And then Bryce doesn't get up or see it, and then Briscoe runs down and is stopped by security, and he's like, no, I'm just trying to point out what happened.
Yes.
Which I think would have been fine if he had ran down and spoken to Bryce, and then Bryce had gone, no, and they restarted the match like a dusty finish. Like, that seems like...
That's happened. It's still a little bit nonsense, but it happens.
But it's nonsense we know, and it's nonsense that we've seen before.
Yes.
Where this was an absolute clusterfuck.
Yes.
And then we get the final stretch of the match where Bryce still keeps on getting knocked around. I have my notes have written Bryce is wrestling the match of his life because he's in most of the action of this.
Yes. Yeah. This was a 3-way between MJF, Hangman, and Bryce for some reason.
So MJF starts cheating really obviously. And then the story of this match has been, you can't beat me clean because you're an emotional hothead. And then he doesn't win clean because he cheats behind the ref's back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
interesting. Okay.
I don't like this. I think he should have just won clean because he uses the diamond ring and he uses the contract.
Yes.
I think 1 is fine. I think 2 is like you're really like, well, Hangman can just win this, right?
Yeah, yeah. And well, because like I assume what they're trying to get over here is the idea that MJF's been put forward, and this is what I mean by MJF is technically right here. Of Hangman does all the same shit MJF does, and yet everyone still loves him. Whereas MJF does it, and everyone's furious at him. So like I understand the spot, but having it be the finish felt weird. Like,
The problem I have is I agree with MJF now.
yeah, that's kind of
Like,
the thing, right? I'm like, oh, but he's technically right now. Because, like, no, he couldn't win clean.
yeah.
I also don't love that that contract is still floating about.
Well, Tony said in the post-show press conference they now need a week's
Yeah,
notice in advance.
which I much prefer.
Yeah. Um,
I made that call because I think that's the right call. Because having it be like a Money in the Bank style cash in is just too. We don't need to be doing all of that.
I'm one of those people. I love a good gimmick. I love a good
Yes.
gimmick. I love a good. If AEW had a Money in the Bank stipulation, I'd be up for it because I think that leads to some really cool moments. But
Hmm.
I can see why the AEW fan base doesn't want it. And
Yeah.
because the Christian one last year did fucking suck. So
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad out there with that one. So I get why
I
people are like, mm.
I think actually the way that AEW is booked, it means those opportunities are never really gonna work. So
Yeah,
yeah, it makes sense that Tony would just go, you know what, I'm not gonna be able to book this right. I'm just gonna hand it over.
give me a week. Give me a week to sort some shit out, and then we can see.
MJF could wrestle Thin Air and I would love it. And Hangman could wrestle pretty much anyone and put a good match in. So
It's
this
true.
was like they have so much chemistry as the two
Yeah,
possible protagonists of AEW. Like that's
yeah. No, the
the
wrestling
way
was
they
good. The match was good. I just wish there'd been a little less nonsense at the end.
less nonsense finish and or like controlled nonsense because just felt
Yeah,
all over the
it was a
place.
bit of, like you say, it was a bit of a clusterfuck.
Yeah, I think and I get what MJF is doing. You're right
Hmm.
about the story. I get, but also it's all about his heat. You know, it's
Yeah,
not about him looking weak, which I love about him. Is that he just always likes the like he likes having his comeuppance.
yeah.
He's a bit
Well, like that. I think MJF, out of the kayfabe of it, was probably thrilled when he came up. They got that shot of him bloody, and this London crowd started yelling, "You deserve it!" at him. I bet, like the shoot part of him was like, "Yes, I did it!" Like that's what he wants. That's the response he wants from that.
he's just so good at it.
Yeah, but yeah, I liked the match. I got lost in the nonsense at the end and had no idea what was happening.
Yeah, but you know
So we'll see.
it doesn't take away too much. Like you can go,
Yeah,
that was a thing, but actually, I loved most of it, and I think
yeah.
it's why I love AEW is that even when I'm like, ah, a lot of it's still
Oh,
good on the way or good
yeah.
afterward. Um, and then finally, we had the lights out match, which AEW was not responsible for, despite the fact the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling was in the match.
It's
Uh,
fine. Don't worry about it. Well,
the
that's
light
New Japan's business. New Japan can be responsible for it.
the lights out match between the Death Raiders of um, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli,
Yep.
the Young Bucks
Yep.
of whatever funny name they've called Nick and Jack this week,
I
and
believe it was Flicknick and Mr. Instant Replay again.
yeah, I know you had that old indie theme,
Yeah.
um, and uh, who else is on the villains team?
Gabe Kidd,
Gabe Kidd
who
versus
does nothing for me, so I don't care.
Hiromu Tanahashi,
Yep.
Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega. Oh, Golden Lovers. So
Kota Ibushi,
Kyoto Ibushi and
Darby Allin.
Darby Allin. There we go. I was like, what? Who else was in this stupid match?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The Young Bucks came out to Mbop by Hanson, and that was delightful. Very funny. The Death Riders theme is so good. Like, I saw someone post it and they're like, yeah, like, once you hear the Death Riders theme in person, you understand how intimidating it is. And I was like, not me. I'm in the O2, like, absolutely throwing it back to the Death Riders theme tune. I think it's great. It's so, like,
Interesting.
grimy.
I've never had a thought on it. I've just
Oh, I
thought,
think it's
it's
really
just
fun.
it's generic bad guys. But
Yeah, I
I'll
think
have a
it's
look into
fun.
it.
And then, of course, a team of faces where I don't think they can create a working body between them. Because I've got what? No knees Tanahashi, no neck Osprey, no guts Omega, no ankles Ibushi, and Darby Allin with a death wish. Like the most
Yeah.
like genuine, sincere, serious, please don't die chant I've ever heard of my life. I was like, we're not joking. Please don't die.
I love Tanahashi for lots of reasons.
Yeah,
I haven't watched any of his matches from the last 2 years. So when I was
fair.
going into this match, I was it's disappointing. Then I watched him in this match and went, you know what? I see why they put him in a cage match where he didn't have to do anything. Because for
Yes.
most of this match, he was just on the side watching.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Because you
Yeah.
know what? The man can't move and he
No.
just needs to retire. And that's
Yes.
fine. Because
Yeah.
he's done so much for the world.
Seeing him at Glasgow coming down that entrance ramp, I was like, ooh, yep. Yeah.
The
That's
best
it.
spot of the match was when he tried to go up the ladder and all the guys tried to stop him
No,
like he was
no,
an
no, no.
old man who'd been taken out of a home. It was like,
Yeah, everyone rushing over. Like, no, 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 it's okay. Get down, get down.
no, don't do that. Darby gets on the fucking top and jumps off the fucking. Get over yourselves.
Oh, they're so funny. I really like this match. I'm a little sick freak, so I love stipulation matches. I love cage matches. I love anything where people are going to bleed. So this was great for me. Love this. I enjoyed the opening spot where the Young Bucks had their little bag that they demanded got filled with thumbtacks and gravel and whatever from London. And then they poured it out and it's just gummy bears. Delightful.
But no, it shouldn't have been gummy bears. It should have been jelly babies. I don't.
It should have been.
You're in London.
It should have been. I understand they were going for the PWG spot that they used to do, but it would have been funny.
Fine.
But I enjoy that they sold it. I enjoy that they did the spot where they put in one of their mouths. I don't know how to tell the Bucks apart.
I can't tell you. I can.
No.
If you showed me a
I also
picture, I
feel
could
like
make a good guess.
well, I also feel like I shouldn't be able to tell them apart. Like I don't. That's not my business. Those are just the Bucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that. And generally, it was just very fun. Lots going on at all times.
Really fun match. I really like the New Japan cage. The New Japan cage is
Yes.
really cool.
Yes. And I think a much better choice for a 10-man cage match because in the AEW cage there would have been no space for anyone.
It's big enough that it basically goes round the whole outside ring area.
Yeah.
So there's lots of room for people to lie down on the floor and go, oh, let me just have a little bit of rest before I hit my spot.
I'll just sit here for a minute. Don't mind me.
Don't mind me. The big spot was Darby and who did he send? There was at some point the Death Raiders put up 2 tables on top of each other, like 4 tables.
Marina and Yuta outside the ring set up stacked tables. Although before that there was the other big spot of the match, which was when Mox got a hold of Darby.
Oh, and started just cutting his ear off. Yeah.
Yeah, put a fork through his ear. Gnarly. That was gnarly.
Yeah. Just
They're
all right,
such
boys.
freaks. They're
Yeah.
such freaks, and I think it's beautiful. I had a great time with that spot. I understand why it was maybe a bit much for people, but also I'm like, it's a light type steel cage match. It's kind of fork found in kitchen, or well, Darby Allin's ear, like.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. You know what? With Darby, when he does that kind of thing, I just gotta go on. Other
Yeah.
people are like, whoa. But with Darby, I'm like, you know what? This is what
Crack
you
on.
do.
Yeah.
I can't stop you. And
Yes.
you seem to survive everything they throw at you. So
Yeah. Osprey speared Mox through a barbed wire table. Also delightful.
I loved when Tanahashi was playing with that table, and everyone was like, "There's no way he's going near
There's
it."
no way he's going through the barbed wire table. Absolutely not.
There's that move, the uppercut that Nigel McGuinness does, where he walks, there's this weird run across the ring.
Yes.
That's how Tanahashi moves now normally.
Yeah. Rough.
I love him though, and he got the pin in this, and I was so happy for him.
He did.
And no one had made it clear what was going to happen to the show afterwards to him. So anyway, yeah. I know Gabe Kidd is nothing for you. I think I watched Gabe Kidd in WCPW back when that was a thing. So I have like an affection for him.
Yeah.
Because he's
He was
British,
good in
and
this
I
match.
remember him.
He's got good spots in
I
this
remember
match.
that he's a thing, and he's from here, and he
Yeah.
goes to Japan, and he's good in there.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But yeah, they did the spot where Marina and Yura set up those tables outside. Mox goes outside the cage, and then
Mox starts running away for some reason. It's a bit unclear
yeah.
as to why he does that, but like, yeah, he climbs.
Well,
So he climbs up.
I don't know if he was going out to get something, but I think Darby follows him out, and they put him under the tables. Which I was like, there's no way. There's no way people are going through these tables while Mox is in between them. But it's okay because Marina is there, so Marina pulls him out and holds him up for the rest of this spot.
And then Darby and Gabe Kidd go through those tables.
Yes, both of them.
You know what? It didn't look that bad. It didn't look that
I thought
painful.
it was going to look worse. I thought it was going to look much worse.
Especially with the trouble they had getting good tables in the UK before.
Yeah, so I'm glad it looked good. And then yeah, that finish of one of the Bucks, whichever one, not my business, famously. Taking a hidden blade, hidden blade, one-winged angel, and then Tanahashi finally getting that high fly flow off the top rope for that one. Which felt good. I'm glad. Which, like, very funny, because, like, realistically, the hidden blade one-winged angel would have done it. They could have made the cover. But it felt nice that they let Tanahashi get the pin.
Tanahashi, we basically didn't book you in this match. You want to get the finish in? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Get your spot in. There you go, man.
And then we had the worst angle ever. Not as in, I think it's a fine angle. I think this is perfectly fine. They definitely decided to kill Will Ospreay.
Yeah, they've had enough of him. I've had enough of this guy.
And like, we maybe should have seen the signs coming when his intro video is a poem written by his wife.
Yes, which was very beautiful. That got me in my feelings, but I realized it was her. I was like, oh no.
Commentary claims she wrote it.
I wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see. Yeah, it was a very lovely entrance, but yeah, they killed him at the end. They very much did kill him.
Now's your time, Tony. Go.
Tony, quick, Tony. Tony, quick, Tony.
He's fucking dead. In kayfabe, he's dead.
Listen, I'm sure Mina would be more than happy now that she's back. She was jealous while she was away, but now that she's there again, I'm sure it's fine.
I think they wouldn't have done this spot if they didn't think they could bring him back at some point.
Yes, I think they're pretty sure he's coming back. It's just, I think he'll be out for quite a while, and they were like, "Well, we'll sell it."
I'd be surprised if he's not at all in. He's not at all in next year, which is really sad. But
my thought is that I could see him making a return at All In, but I think it's a run-in. I don't think it's a match. You know, I could see him getting a return for the pop, but then, give them a little bit of time to like work up to like easy stuff on weeklies and not immediately have a match at All In front of a hometown crowd,
Yeah, I was hoping for an Eddie Kingston return here, but he's clearly not ready, and I will be
I think
grateful
there's
when he's
such a
back
huge
properly.
difference between like being recovered and being in ring shape, right? Like it's just such a different demand on your body that you can understand that even when people are ostensibly fine, sometimes their bodies just aren't ready for a ring return yet, which I get.
I think you look at like Nigel at his previous 2 matches in AEW. He's fit as hell, but he's just not in wrestling shape, or hadn't been
Ring shape
wrestling
is such
regularly.
a different breed. Like it's so strange what it demands out of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally get it. I would like to see Kingston back soon. I'm hoping soon because he seems quite well. So hopefully it's a case of getting.
That's how you end the Death Riders feud. You've got to have Kingston come back and go, Moxley, what the fuck are you doing?
What's happening here? But yeah, they kill Ospreay. They put a chair around his neck. The ops come to try and help, but everyone's in there with kendo sticks jabbing at them.
No one can get into that cage. No one can get into the cage, even though it's really easy to climb. No one can get in the cage. It's
well, to be fair,
like
I don't know
somebody starts climbing and realizes they're not allowed in yet.
I don't know if it was a camera work issue, because like I could see from where I was, like the rest of the Death Riders and the Bucks and I guess Gabe Kidd all had those kendo sticks. So when people went to start climbing, they were jabbing them with them.
We
out
did
through
see
like
that. There was a specific moment where Hobbs got pretty much all the way up the cage and then got down again.
Right, yeah. got up too quick and then everyone was like, fuck, hold on.
Yeah.
Very funny. So like, they kill Ospreay. He's dead now. Rough bummer ending to a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's a bummer ending, but I think we've had a lot of positive endings, and we're coming off the biggest show of the year where the good guys all won and everyone was happy, and now we needed this, even though the good guys won, which
it's still a
reminder
like this is still a problem actually.
Yeah, it's leading to blood and guts. We all know it.
Yes. Yeah. Which I'm both like I love blood and guts, but also I'm a little sad because I'm like, there's a women's blood and guts setting itself up that you could do that I think would be very interesting instead.
They might do both.
They might. I would be into it if they did. Especially given
women's one open the show.
Yeah. Well, especially given that like now Harley's here or Jamie's here. Like there's people you can plug into that 5th spot that previously I was like, oh, I don't know who the 5th person in the face team would be. So yeah, it's leading to blood and guts. I'm glad that it wasn't a case of they got the belt off Mox and the Death Riders all just went, oh well, guess we'll give up. Like they're still menaces. And quite frankly, Claudio is the biggest menace of all right now.
Claudio's the best wrestler in the world.
He's so scary. I don't know if you watched Dynamite, but they're at the 2300 for like the old DCW venue. And he and Darby Allin had a Falls Count Anywhere match, which started with Darby Allin jumping off like one of those shipping containers onto Claudio.
And then I've not watched Dynamite yet because I try not to watch Dynamite before we do these podcasts, so I don't just talk about Dynamite for the whole thing.
Fair.
No,
but there's a spot where Claudio fully picks up Darby and just hurls him out of the ring onto the announce desk. He's in the ring and just throws him. Claudio Castagnoli, so scary.
I just remembered my favorite spot in this match where not Tempest, that's the Wrestle Talk guy. Excalibur has to save the Japanese commentary team from the jump. Because I don't know her name, but the female commentator, she's clearly going to get hit. So Excalibur just grabs her as politely as he can. Just goes, nope.
Sorry. Yeah. I really like this steel cage match, but I am predisposed to love a stipulation match. It's just in me. Um,
I love stipulation matches in AEW. I think they do a really good job of adding a variety to every AEW card.
yeah, I am once again at Tori Khan. Please book me a women's dog collar match. It's all I want. It's all I want. There's so many feuds you could do it with. A
Yeah,
Tekla Aminata dog collar match? That would go hard as hell.
yeah. The fan base is there for it, my friend.
Exactly. When I
Oh,
met Aminata at Eve, I met her wearing my Tekla shirt. Um, and she told me to fuck off immediately. And I was like, fair. Um, and then I was like, I'm just actually here to bait you because I want more violence between the two of you. So she's like, well, consider me baited. And I was like, I just want to watch you kill each other on live TV. Is that a crime? She's like, well, no, that's fair. And I was like, I love violence. And then she's like, okay, no, I love violence. And I was like, great, yeah, we've come around. Come on now.
yeah. I it, it was great. It was a great show. I think
Yeah.
coming off All In, it was
Uh-huh.
always going to be a little bit of a dip
Yeah.
in terms of quality because it's your biggest match of the year. It's the biggest show of the year. Like you
Yeah.
can't really compete with it. Um, I think the O2 is a really good venue for a British crowd, sound wise. I know they're
Yeah.
going back to the stadium next year, but I think they should consider running O2 again, even if
I
the
think
O2 is a
so.
shit place for an audience.
Yeah. But I think stadiums are very cool, but a lot of the sound and the crowd reaction gets lost because they're open air.
Yeah,
A closed venue like the O2 lets you hear how much that crowd is into it, which, regardless of what you think of it, is simply a feature of running wrestling in the UK and in Europe, is that the crowds are always hot.
they're
And
desperate for it, and AEW's got a
yeah,
really strong audience in the UK,
hmm
despite the fact they don't have a proper television program.
yeah. Well, it's also like AEW airs for free on ITV here. Like a
A
lot of
really
people,
awkward time.
a really awkward time, but like it's still on free television, and
Yeah,
like a lot of people who came up in British wrestling scenes are obviously like WWE fans, but also grew up on things like New Japan and whatever. That's why Osprey is the way that he is. He's like, well, I grew up watching like New Japan and all of that. So like the appetites, I think, are a little different. Not entirely, because obviously, as things like streaming services are much bigger now and access to American stuff is easier, it's changed a little. But I think there's still inherently a difference in appetite a little
the
bit.
the fact they can keep selling those shows for the big stadium show once a year, and maybe if they dilute by doing a UK tour, they won't get those numbers. But like
Maybe.
Osprey's been like they need to do a UK tour. They're doing 2 more dates this year
Yeah.
of Cardiff and Manchester, one Dynamite, one Collision,
hmm
um, which is interesting because the last time they came here, they did well. The 2 previous times they've been here, they did one recording for both shows. So it's
Yeah.
interesting that that's
I guess because they don't have a pay-per-view to supplement it, so to
yeah,
make it worth their while, they'll do two shows.
yeah, I don't know. So yeah, we, we might meet each other at one of those shows,
Which would be
um,
lovely.
which would be lovely. Yeah. Next show is All Out, which is
All out.
sometime in September.
Yes.
Is it the weekend I'm away? We'll be back the week
Uh,
after anyway to record a podcast about it.
yeah,
Um,
we'll be here.
we'll be here talking about AEW once again. Thank you very much for joining me, Bax, and thank you for
Of
sharing your
course.
experiences of seeing it live.
Very
Um,
fun. Would recommend. Absolute
yeah.
excellent night.
Until then, bye bye.